Thank you, Mary Grace. I'm Dennis. Howdy, y'all. Hey, I'm Brad Batt. It's really nice to see such a large crowd today. Hi, Kay Robbins. Kay Robbins and I, right there, Kay, in 2016, were the Tennessee 1st Congressional Delegates for Bernie Sanders. And we've been trying to tell people, haven't we, Kay? This is a great celebration of labor today, and first of all, just so you know, I'm now vice chair of Washington County, second vice chair of Washington County Democrats, and we're going to be running candidates up and down the ballot. County commissioners, okay, Republicans are scared. I'm not joking, and Republican county party's falling apart. Find me afterwards. I'll tell you all about it. You can find me at Brad Batt on social media. Also, brad.me. It's brad.me. Find me, reach out to me. You want to run, you know someone wants to run, you want to chat, you got memes, send them. Great. Back to today's celebration, Labor Day celebration. The person I'm introducing is a natural organizer and fighter for workers. She has stood up to the Johnson City Commission on the issues of Sean Williams and the police neglect and corruption.
I was wondering, since we ended up canceling our last interview, are we going to address Sean Williams, or do we want to talk about that? Or
not today, yeah, but appreciate it.
Will there be, I guess, a later day?
Yeah.
When?
That's yet to be determined. But thank you.
Okay.
A federal judge has formally approved $4.2 million in a settlement covering all women and girls who reported sexual assaults to the Johnson City Police Department in a 4-year period. That covers around 375 people. The class action suit stemmed from the 2023 lawsuit filed on behalf of alleged victims of Sean Williams, who prosecutors claim sexually assaulted more than 60 women. The city of Johnson City settled that suit separately in a nearly $24 million payout. The class settlement would leave individual settlements at around $7,000 if divided by the entire class of 375. The judge set final approval for January 6th in a hearing. That's next year at the U.S. District Courthouse in Greenville.
She has been front and center organizing bar owners and workers against the city's surprise 1 a.m. cutoff that puts people in harm's way and takes away their income. And she's supporting those workers by helping some of them apply for unemployment because of the city's negligence in shoving this law through. So I am so impressed by her as a person, the organizing she's done, and I think you're going to be excited to hear from her today, and she can tell you everything about that organizing and where we're taking it from here. Please give a great welcome to Abigail Honeycutt.
Hello, my name is Abigail, and I am consistently mystified at the frequency I'm asked to speak publicly. I am often and never more sick in this chapter, never more sick of my own voice than I am today in this chapter. I would very much like to hear more of the stories of my girls rather than my own. I am mostly all grown up now, and I decided long ago that there is not a single system or suit or costume or uniform I had any respect for. I spent the first 18 years of my life in Carter County, in school systems, and I think we can all imagine well how my insistence at questioning all of the things all of the time went down in that school system with preachers and teachers and peers. But they taught me systems, and for better or for worse, that too was a gift. They won for a while, telling me to be silent. I spent a good chunk of my teen years not speaking at all to any of them. And I learned later that the word for that is it was my first act of resistance to weaponize silence, and it drove them all completely insane. And they'd look at me and they'd ask me, what was going on. And I would say, but you told me I talked too much. But you told me I should behave. But you told me that wasn't respectful. And with all that extra time I spent not speaking and seething as an adolescent, I planned and I plotted, and I found my way to the hospitality industry. People like Brad try to sit me down and polish me and structure me and organize me. And he asks me all the time to define what my goals are, what my mission is, who I want to be. And as recently as 15 hours ago, I sat with him, and he is an unusually and exceptional white man, very woke. And we spent 5 hours trying to define what it is I am and what it is I do. And we used really official words like labor organizer, workers' rights, unions, agitator, lawsuit winner, or my personal favorite, agent of chaos. We were sitting together on my favorite pedestal, the bench outside of Capone's, because when I yelled at the commission and I ordered them to get off their pedestal and come down there and see these girls, he heard me 6 months ago, and he came down there to spend time with me and my girls. That bench outside of Capone's is the perfect vantage point via which I survey my little queendom, and I clock into my self-assigned job duties as patron saint of brilliant to hot mess baby girl bartenders. I can see the breezeway where one of the ladies that is not housed tells me proudly, with a note of her very own disdain as she clocks into her job for the night, I won't lay on my back to make money like the rest of them for these men. I'm an entrepreneur. She reads me tarot cards, and I write her marketing strategies. I teach her Venmo. She predicts the future, and I fret over the increased police presence downtown. But mostly I watch. While we were sitting together, Brad and I, he started to laugh at the frequency that young girls would come to me and fly into my arms to tell me their stories, their sins and their wins and their heartache, petty to profound, tragic to triumph. And Brad kept saying, how do you know her, or her, or her? And I kept laughing because I don't know them at all. They just fly into my arms. He said to me, what are you? A siren's call for little girls. And I said yes. And I was quite rude to him because every important thing he tried to discuss, I shushed him to listen to them. But it's the secret language of women, and it's not even deep or as magical as it looks. It's primal to run to older women for safety when the world is too big. And they see me watching and scanning, bright-eyed and measured, and joyful but aware. I don't want to be anything organized. I want to be Carlene Claybaker when I grow up. I want to listen to all of the important things, the unimportant things that don't matter at all. The trinkets, the hair dyes, the boyfriends, the tears, all those things. And it's not easy all the time, but I've trained me to make sure they hear me say, their stories matter to me big, 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 more than Brad's voice. They say to me most often, I'm trying, Abigail. I'm trying this. I'm trying that. And I'm kind of a jerk. So I tell them, that's the worst idea I've ever heard in my life. Why don't you try something else? And then they come back to me with a brand new idea, a labor board complaint, an argument they had with their boss, the car they keyed of their boyfriend that was mean to them. And they say, Abigail, I'm trying. And I say to them, definitively, every single time, well, that means succeeding. It means succeeding. So, Brad, my love, I'm not a labor organizer. I'm not a future politician. I'm not a writer or a leader or an agitator or board member. And for the benefit of the Junior League and the Washington County Democratic Party, I won't be joining any of these systems. I'm not a purist or an idiot. I understand viscerally that we have to work within what's existing as they are now in order to break the chains. I am but a waitress practicing politics. And I don't wish to sit on any throne but the one outside of Capone's I claimed long ago. The only thing I believe in is as follows. The only angels left on God's green earth work at all-night diners and behind bars and in hair salons. Go find them. Go help them, teach them. They're gritty. They'll tell you the last time they haven't been to the dentist. They will tell you all the incredible things that they are doing to agitate, and it is a magical experience. They are doing more to change the world with their hairdresser straight razors held to the throat of men in suits, ordering them to behave differently than any of us. So my best advice isn't even especially good advice, except to again look towards Carleen Claybaker, who has supported so loudly every unhinged thing any unhinged little girl has done in this town for decades. Without question, without logic. She is so much more wise than me. She does not even say that is a terrible idea. She says that is a great idea and I'm going to be there. And with that action, she has represented that our voices matter. So get louder, all of us. More sidewalk chalk, more memes, more emails, one more labor complaint. Be petty. Crash out, call the police, buy a billboard, make a meme. And above all, stop hearing me and looking to the left and right at one another. And go to Waffle House. And go to the bars. And talk to these girls. Thank you so much.